welcome to strength training session number 10 if you're following in sequence. So we're going to begin today with our warm-up. So feet hip width apart. We're going to start off with the three-way leg swing. So standing up nice and tall. Abs are nice and tight, really focusing on this center of gravity. We're going to aim for 10 repetitions. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so then crossing it over. So crossing it over in front. Now just thinking about as you're crossing it over, if you're finding that your balance is a little off, you can shorten the range of motion. So bring it a little bit shorter, or maybe put your hand on the wall to help with the balance. Bending at the knee, we're going to open the hip to the side. So we're aiming for 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so changing over to the other side. So big lift forward and back for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then cross it over. So focusing on 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then bending at the knee, we'll open the knee to the side for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so bringing the feet hip width apart, we're going to squat down and not focusing on warming up the legs for the lower body, focusing on the joints, and just really thinking about driving those hips back, keeping the chest slightly up. As you do that, make sure that the chest doesn't come forward, hugging the thighs. So bending through those knees, remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. Couple more. Good, and then bring it on up. Okay, so we're gonna lunge. So we're gonna bring the right leg behind, and we're just focusing on dynamic stretching, guys. So just remember that in this lunge position, we're focusing on getting the body ready to work out. So you're just going through the movements, trying to stretch out the legs. Okay, and then we'll change sides. So remember, you're keeping the heel off the floor on this one, lowering down, lifting up. The heel always stays off the floor. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so let's bring it on up. Bring the feet nice and wide. We're going to go side to side, stretching out the inside thighs, the outside thighs. Just remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we'll bring it back to center. Let's walk it in. And then bring the right leg behind. So you're going to pump this heel up and down. So nice big lift up for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll just change sides, pushing that heel to the floor. Big pump up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so bring it back to center. We're going to come around the core, stretching out your midsection here. So through the abs, the back, and then moving the arms around. So we're really focusing on the joints of the upper body. And that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it back to center, a big pull front to back for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then circle forward, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then reverse, big circles, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then nice big lift to the sky, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're opening it up. Just remember when the right arm's coming on top, then you want to switch it each time. The right arm then goes to the bottom. A couple more. That's good. And then we'll circle around. Let's do a few circles forward and then reverse. Then we'll do some elbow rotations. And then in the opposite direction. And then we'll do some wrist rotations. And then the opposite direction. Good, and then up and down with those wrists. Okay, so some shoulders. And then in the other direction. And then maybe some head rotations, side to side. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. A couple more. Okay, and relax. Okay, so let's focus on some weight training then for today. So let's first move on to the floor. We're going to do some chest presses on the floor. So what we're going to do today then, I've set it up so that we're doing triceps today. So we're going to do 3 exercises in a row, and then we're just going to go back and repeat those 3 exercises. And then, so in total, I think we have 12 exercises consisting of 4 groups of 3. And then at the end, I saved some time just to focus on the core strength, so some abs and some back, things like that. Okay, so let's hit the floor first, and then we'll get to it. Okay, so I think what I'll do for today then, instead of counting out your sets, I'm going to time you. So basically, you can do just as many repetitions as you like in the work period. So we're going to aim for, we'll go for those 3 sets. I'm going to give you 40 seconds of work here, and then I'll give you a 20-second rest period with rotation. Okay, so on the floor first, I'll demo the exercise. Okay, so a couple different variations you can do here. You can bring the feet to the sky, focusing on pelvic tilt, which will help work the lower abs, or we can bring it into bridge, squeezing the glutes, and then you're activating more hamstrings and glutes, or you can leave the feet on the floor, big push to the sky, breathing out. Okay, so let's get ready. You're going to do 40 seconds of work. You're going to listen for the timer. If you guys aren't used to the timer, I use it in my Shape Up class, so I'll just give you the cues, getting ready. Okay, so here we go. We're pumping that up and down. You're doing the work period of 40 seconds. And breathing out as you lift. So at the end of this 40 seconds, I'm going to get you to come back to your feet, and we're going to do something called the farmer carry. You have 13 seconds. If you need a little bit of extra time to get back to your feet, you can start moving back there now. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you have 20 seconds of rest now, and then you're going to take your heaviest weight that you have, and we're going to do some walks, maybe around your living room. Okay, back and forward. We're working on the legs. You don't have a lot of space, you can do 3 steps one way, 3 steps the other way. Okay, so the purpose here is to use your heavier weights. You're working with heavier weights on farmer carry, back and forth. Okay, if you don't have a lot of space, you can do standing in place. You can do just some regular leg marches up and down. Okay, 19 seconds on this one. Okay, so resting, we're going to do a seated row next. You have 20 seconds of rest here. Okay, so seated at the edge of your seat, we're going to do some double arm row, up and down. And just remember to breathe out as you pull up. Okay, so you want to think about keeping the back nice and flat when you do the row. So there's no rounding in the back when you're doing this. That's not good for your spine. So keeping the back flat, keeping space between your chest and your upper thighs. Okay, this is the last set on this round, and then we're going to rest and repeat the round. So today we're just moving a little bit quicker through the rest periods. It gets shedded about 10 seconds off your rest period if you've been following the rest of the exercise, the rest of the program. And then, but we'll rest for 30 seconds in between the triceps. So 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, so let's rest up. You could grab a drink. You've got 30 seconds. And then maybe work yourself back down to the floor there if you need that extra time. We're going to do the chest presses again. Okay, so there's 10 seconds left in this rest period. All right, so let's grab your weights. And we're going to go back to that chest press. Okay, so here we go, nice big push. Breathing out, maybe the feet are down, maybe you're in bridge. Maybe you're resting the hips. You can also do palm spacing in for this one if you like. Just remember to breathe out as you push the dumbbells up. Okay, so let's bring it on up to your feet. We're going to do the farmer carry again. Okay, so taking your heaviest weight. Okay, resting, listening for the timer. Okay, so using the length maybe of your living room or wherever it's at for you. Maybe you can only do 3 steps forward and then just turn around and do 3 steps back. You can also do the leg marches up and down using your dumbbells. Get those legs up there, stretching those legs out. Okay. 14 seconds. Okay, so resting for 20 seconds, and we're going to get into position for the rowing. up and down, so breathing out. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Let's pump that out nice and strong. Now, just remember in that forward fold, you're creating some space between the chest and the abs, making sure that you're not folding and resting right onto your upper thighs, and keeping the back nice and flat as you do the row up and down. So 20 seconds. So after this one, we'll do 30 seconds or so of rest, and then we'll move on to the next group of exercises. We're going to be focusing on the arms. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, so rest up, and I'm going to talk about the next round. So the next round, we're going to be doing some dumbbell arm curls. Now you can do them standing or seated. So if you're doing them in the seated position, you're going to bring your butt to the edge of the seat and then palms facing forward. We're going to do the arm curls up and down. And just remember to breathe out as you do that. Now, if you're doing the stand-up variation, feet are hip width apart, and then you're doing the curls up and down. You can also do them palms facing in. And because I'm timing you on these sets today, I'm not actually counting for you. You can also alternate side to side. It's just too hard to count. You know, when you're doing the double arm and everybody's doing the double arm and you're doing the single arm, you'd only get about half the reps in. Okay, so either one of those works great. So let's get in position and then I'll start the timer. Okay. So here we go, starting in 4, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Okay, so again, those palms can be facing in or out, and or you can alternate them. Any grip style doesn't matter. I'm big on making sure that you keep the elbow tucked to the side of the body and you're not swinging that elbow forward each time as you lift. Okay. So we're going to get down onto the mat next. Okay, so moving on down to the mat. Okay, and I want you laying on your back. Arms to the sky, we're going to do tricep extensions, bending the elbows, lifting the arms. And just making sure that you're driving the dumbbells all the way up towards the sky. Elbows point towards the sky as you lower the arms down. And just remember to breathe out as you lift. Okay. Okay, so you have 17 seconds left, and then we're going to come back to the feet. We're going to do something for the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so front raises. Knees are bent, lifting the arms to the front. Okay, and or alternating them side to side. Okay. Okay, so just taking note that my palms are facing in for this one. Okay, they're not flat, facing down. Keep the knees a little bit bent, the abs are tight. Let's go from there. Just remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. So this is the end of the third tricep. So we'll or the third exercise in this group. So we'll rest and then we'll go back to the beginning again. So 4 seconds left on this set. Good, and then rest. Okay, so Let's take 30 seconds, just timing on my other clock here. Grab yourselves a drink, and then we're coming back to either a standing position or a seated position for the arm curl. Okay, so with that dumbbell arm curl, that's the one where we take the dumbbells and we're lifting up and down for that one. Okay, so you have 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to start this guy. Okay, so here we go. So big lift up. Remember to breathe out. And then again, I also showed you to alternate them. You can also turn them in. You can also alternate them, and you can also be seated too. Okay, so after this one, we're getting back on the floor again. Now, we've talked extensively in some sessions about getting to and from the floor. So just making sure that you're doing that properly. Okay, so this is the one where we do the tricep extension, so bending at the elbows, lowering the dumbbells down towards the tops of the shoulders. Big lift up. Okay, so after this one, we'll go back to standing, and we're going to do some front raises next. Okay, 9 seconds. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so front raises to the front, keeping the abs nice and tight, lowering down with control. Okay, and again, too, you can alternate them because we're timing it, right? So I don't have to count your reps on that. So try that way as well if you like. You can try it on this side if you haven't tried it yet. The good thing is, like, with the different options, you can try one set one way and then the next set the other way, just to get a feel for something different. You know, like what works, what doesn't work. Okay. So then after this set, we're done that round. So then I'll give you some time to rest, and then we'll change it up. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're going to move into doing some legs next. So the next exercise is going to be a sumo squat. So we've done sumos in the past. So here, this one, you step nice and wide, and then the toes point out on this one. Okay, hence the sumo squat, right? So toes point out. You can bring the dumbbell here between the legs, or you can draw it to the top of the chest, whatever works best for you. And then we're gonna, as we squat down, you're sitting into that squat, and then you're thinking about pushing the knees out towards the baby toes. So you squat down, you want to make sure that those knees don't accidentally start sliding into the center, so you have to do a lot of self-checking your form as I give you the cues on that. Okay, so I think we're about definitely past our rest time there, so let's get ready. All right, so here we go, pumping it up and down. So just remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. And another little tip on the sumo squat, just making sure that you're pushing through the heels of the feet as you come up. Okay, 7 seconds, and then we're going to move it into two different options. Okay, so you can do a squat down and a calf raise up, or you can just choose to do the calf raise up. Okay, so that can be a squat down and then calf lift, or just a calf lift. Okay, so get ready. 3, 2, 1. So nice big lift up, either just on the calves, or if you want more legs in there, you can do that squat and calf raise up. You are going to be doing more squats on the third set, so we'll definitely get more squats in. That's not going to be an issue. Just working those legs out a little bit. So like I said, like you can just do the calf raise right now to give the quads a bit of a rest, you know, and if you find it aggravates your knees a little bit, then do the calf raise. Okay, so you're going to do a lateral step, and then it's going to be a squat down, and then a lateral step to the other side, and then squat down. So you can do it with or without your weights. Okay, any of the leg exercises can be done with or without. Okay. So just remember that when you're squatting down, you're not folding forward onto your thighs. A lot of people make that mistake. I want you to keep your chest slightly up as you squat down. Okay, so this is the end of that round in a few seconds, and then we'll rest, and then we'll repeat the round again. So again, leaving all the different options in. You can pick and choose some of them. Again, like to change it up to make it a little bit different. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, so let's rest up. We'll give you 30 seconds, and then we're going to come back to the sumo squat again. And again, you can choose to use the weights or do it without the weights. Okay. Okay, so just getting yourself back into that position again. We've got the sumo squat with the toes out. And just remember that you have to self-check to make sure that your knees are driving out towards the baby toes. Okay. All right, so up and down. All right, so just do a little self-check of your knees to make sure that they're not collapsing into the center. So sometimes you have to bring your stance in maybe just a little bit closer heel-wise so that your knees don't collapse in when you maybe push up. So you have to really keep an eye on that. If you have a mirror that you work out in front of, that's even better because you can watch your form. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so with or without the weights, that's going to be the squat down and the calf raise lift up, or just the calf raise up and down. 8 seconds. Okay, so that's a squat down, calf raise up if you like, or again, just the calf raise. And you can definitely add your weights in for this one, with or without. Again, like I said, lots of options there. Okay. Okay, 20 seconds. And then after this one, we're going back to the side step squat combo. Okay, so 5 seconds. Okay. Okay, so you're going to do that side step again, and then that squat down, and then side step, and then squat down. Okay, now I'll just wait for the timer to start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so with or without your weights, of course. And then when you're doing your side step part, you can keep the feet hip width apart, or you can do more of a narrow squat as well. But just make sure that when you're doing your squats that you're concentrating on really driving those hips back, and you're pushing through the heels of the feet to come up. So don't push into your toes. Okay, last set on this one. Three, 2, 1. Okay, good job. So that was round 2 on that. So let's rest up, and then we're going to move on to some more arms again. Okay, so for the next one, I'm just going to grab my trusty pink weights here. Okay, so we're going to do some lateral raises to the side. So knees are bent. I'm going to show you a couple variations for this one. So lateral raises to the side look like this. Okay, when I'm doing this one, I'm keeping the elbow soft, so a little bit of a bend in my joint. I'm not fully locking out my joints. Now, another way you can do this one is you can bend 90 degrees at the elbow and lift again to the sides of the body. Okay. Now, it's important that when you lift to the side of the body in this 90-degree bend, it doesn't look like this. Okay, you have to rotate it so that this part here stays in line with the rest of the part, so it doesn't look like this. If you can't correct that after I've suggested it, you gotta lower the weights. Okay. Okay, so let's try that again. So get in position. Okay, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. Helping it out. Five seconds. Okay, so in the bent over position, we're going to do side lateral raise or rear lateral raises to the side, breathing out as you lift. Okay, so as you're doing this one, you're keeping the arms in line with the shoulders. So I always like to say in previous sessions, right, when you lift the arms to the side, you should see them in your peripheral vision as you lift. So it's not flying the arms way back here, which a lot of people tend to do. So what they're doing here is they're compensating into the back muscles. So the bigger muscles in the back are compensating for the shoulder. And the shoulder is the muscle that we're working here, right here in the posterior part of the body, which tends to be the weaker muscle, and that's the muscle that we want to work. We're going to do lunges next. Okay, so with or without your weights, guys, we're going to do alternating lunges. So you're going to step forward, come into lunge, and then push back, and then again, and then push it back. So there's some things here when you're doing this one. So you're coming forward, you want to keep that back heel off the floor, and then do not transfer your weight into your toes, because what happens here, the heel will lift up a little bit. Now you're transferring your weight into the toes. Now you're putting pressure into the kneecap. So I want you to push through the heel of the foot, both when you land and when you come back. Okay, so push through the heel of the foot, activating the quadricep muscles here in the front of the leg. 8 seconds. Okay, so let's rest up, and then we're gonna repeat that round again. And then after that, I've got a nice little core program for us. and then we'll cool it down and stretch it out. Okay, so we're coming back to the lateral raises again. I talked about doing the lateral raises to the side with the arms extended, and I also talked about them bent at 90 degrees. Okay, so pick one. If you tried one over the other, maybe try the other one to see the difference. These ones are definitely harder. And I also find with the elbow bent on these ones, I find it a little bit better for people who struggle with shoulder issues. Okay, so let's get ready. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so lateral raise to the side or bending at the elbows. Okay, so 18 seconds, we're just pumping that out. I'll give you the side view of the lateral raise instead of the front view this time. Okay, so in that bent position, we're raising the arms out to the sides. Okay, so like I said, you want to see the arm or the dumbbell in that peripheral vision so that you know that you're bringing the arm forward enough and high enough too. So again, it doesn't look like this. You're not flying the arms backwards. That's defeating the purpose of the muscle group that we're targeting in this exercise. Okay. So after this one, we're going to be doing lunges again. So I'm very particular on the lunge movement. Keeping that back heel off the floor. Okay, so we're coming forward, landing into the heel, and then pressing back. So landing into the front heel, and then pressing back. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference when you land into the heel, and then you push through the heel to come back. You're not pushing through the toes, which then is putting pressure into that kneecap. And a lot of times people complain, oh, my knees bother me when I do lunges, blah, blah, blah. If you just take some time and focus on correcting the form on those exercises, the knee pain disappears, or the knee discomfort disappears, depending on the situation. Okay, so we have 8 seconds. And then after this, we're going to get onto the mat and we're going to focus on core. So I've got 8 different exercises lined up for you. And we're going to do them in a timed manner. So again, just something a little bit different. Like I said, if in the past classes that we've been doing together, if you've been following in sequence, I usually count your repetitions. So I'm just showing you different ways that you can do your weight training on your own. If you're not following the videos, of course. Okay, so now what we're going to do, because we're on the floor, we're going to stay here for 8 exercises. Our transition period or our rest period is going to be 10 seconds. So again, you're just listening for that timer. Okay, so maybe move it up here for you. I'm not sure if you can see it. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do, we're going to rest onto the forearms and we're going to do scissor kicks. And then as you're doing your scissors, you're going to lift and lower the legs up and down, okay? So just remember, the lower you go down here, the harder it's going to be. The higher up here, the easier it's going to be. So lift and lower, get a little bit of both. Okay, so starting in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we got 30 seconds of work. So it's really pumping that out, guys. Okay, 9 seconds. Okay, so as you lift up, you're going to lower the one leg. As that leg comes up, you lower down, and then you're going to change sides. All right, try that for coordination. That's a good one. I like that one. Okay. So let's raise the left leg to the sky. You're going to take the right arm. We're going to reach up towards the top of the foot. Breathe out. All right, so we'll do one side first, and then we'll change sides. So remember to breathe out as you lift. There's no rush, just focusing on the movement. Okay, so we're going to change sides. So lifting up, breathing out, lower back down, breathe out, lower back down. Okay, so let's do all that side, and then we'll change it up. So 9 seconds left. Okay, so bird dogs, alternating arm and leg. Okay, so when you're lifting the arm up, you want to keep it at ear height when you lift it up, and the palm faces in, okay, as you lift. Now, when you're doing the leg part, I want you to bring that leg up to hip height as well and extend it fully. 13 seconds. Okay, laying flat on the belly, lifting the toes if you like, that's an option. And then we're going to do flutter arms. So you're working the rear delts on this one, just like we did with the rear flies when we did the seated bent over arms to the sides. We're working on that posterior side of the body. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, so coming into V-sit, we're going to hold it or rotate. So hold or rotate. Remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. So we have one more set left after this, and then we're going to stretch it out. Okay, so lifting up into bridge, we're going to rotate side to side. So you're moving the hips side to side. But keeping the hips up, you want to squeeze the glutes. Remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. So let's keep that going nice and strong. And just remember to breathe side to side, hip rotations. So you're working the core there, you're working the glutes, you're working the hamstrings. Okay, so let's hug the knees in, flattening the back. And then release, and then let's draw the soles of the feet together, stretching the inside thighs. Okay, then we'll bring it back up, and then let's cross one leg over the body, taking a nice stretch here. And then we'll bring it back, and then change sides. And then we'll come back to center. And then just roll over to the one side, we'll stretch the quadricep muscles. And then change over to the other side, so you can just roll over and change to the other side now. I just have to switch positions so I'm not putting my back to the camera. I don't want to be rude, you know. Okay. Good. All right, let's release that. Just come to any comfortable sitting position that works good for you. And we'll interlock the fingers, bring the arms up. Lower down, bring them behind the back. Draw the shoulder blades together, open the chest. Then bring them out in front again. Round your back this time, drop the chin to the chest. And then inhale, lift up. Big stretch, reach to the left. Reach to the right. And then we'll just do a little mini tricep stretch here. So just lowering the arm down behind the back. And then big stretch, and then other side. Then relax the arms down, we'll lower the ear to the shoulder, and the chin comes to the chest. And then again, over to the other side. And then back. Good, and then rest. All right, guys, nice work today. I hope you guys enjoyed the workout today. We'll see you again, hopefully later in the week or early part of the following week. And have a great day. Take care for now. Bye.